Fourth grade Science Common Assessment, Earth Systems. Marco was so excited to learn that his family was going on a trip to Hawaii for the summer. The plane ride from Danville, Kentucky to Honolulu, Hawaii was the first of his life. Number 1. As Marco was soaring above the country, he noticed that after a few hours the land stopped being so flat. They flew over a huge mountain range that was much bigger than the Appalachian Mountains in Kentucky. Marco's mom told him they were flying over the Rocky Mountains. Which of the following is a possible explanation for the height of this mountain chain compared to the Appalachian Mountains? A. More erosion occurs in this area, so mountains are able to grow larger. B. The Rocky Mountains are older, so they have had more time to grow. C. The Rocky Mountains are newer, so they have had less weathering and erosion over time. D. This mountain range is farther away from the Ring of Fire, so they didn't turn into volcanoes. 2. Once Marco's family landed in Hawaii, they did lots of awesome activities. On their visit, they saw a volcano. Around the volcano, there were lots of shiny, smooth, black rocks. These rocks are most likely A. Metamorphic rocks, B. Igneous rocks, C. Acidic rocks, D. Sedimentary rocks. 3. Marco's mom says that rocks that are formed by volcanoes can eventually turn into any type of rock, metamorphic, sedimentary, or igneous. Is Marco's mom's statement true or false? A. True, B. False. 4. Near the volcano, Marco's family went to an archaeological dig site. They were digging for fossils. There was a bird fossil that was visible right on the surface, and the tour guide showed them a coral fossil that he said they dug up from 20 feet below. The tour guide asked Marco which fossil he thought was the oldest. If you were Marco, what would you say? Explain your reasoning. 5. In which type of rock was the fossil most likely found? A. Metamorphic, B. Sedimentary, C. Igneous, D. Mineral. 6. While they were relaxing at the hotel, Marco's family felt a small earthquake. Marco had never felt one of these before, and it was a bit scary. Marco noticed that there was also a small landslide near the hotel, so lots of rocks fell off the mountain. Marco asked his mom what caused the earthquakes. Help Marco's mom answer this question by explaining what occurs on the Earth's crust to cause earthquakes. 7. Which of these would be possible solutions to prevent the rocks in the landslide from harming people? Multiple select, choose 2. A. Move all the rocks off the mountain before the landslide. B. Place a heavy wall at the bottom of the mountain to catch the rocks. C. Place a chain net over the rocks to prevent them from falling. D. Use water to erode the rocks away. 8. On the next day of their trip, Marco's family went kayaking on a river. Marco's dad remarked that the last time he was here, the river was not as wide. How is it possible that the river widened over time? A. It isn't possible. Rivers stay the same. B. Weathering caused the rocks on the side to move. and erosion broke them apart. C. Weathering caused the rocks to break into sediments and erosion carried them away. D. The rocks fell into the earth after an ocean trench formed underneath the river. 9. While walking back to his hotel, Marco noticed a blade of grass peeking through a crack in the sidewalk. He wondered if grass was strong enough to grow through rock. How could you explain to Marco what happened? A. Chemical weathering occurred, which caused the rock to weaken and allow the grass to grow through it. B. Erosion occurred when water and wind broke down the sidewalk. C. Physical weathering occurred when the roots of the plant wedged down into the crack and began to grow. D. The roots of the grass dissolved the rock, allowing it to grow. 10. After the trip was over, Marco and his family returned home. Marco's little sister, Genesis, got very worried and asked Marco, "Do you think that a volcano could form in our backyard?" Use the map and your own understanding of volcanoes to construct an answer to Genesis' question. Okay, Aleutian Trench, Juan de la Fuca Plate, Hawaiian Hotspot, Pacific Plate, East Pacific Ridge, Cocos Plate, Nazca Plate, Antarctic Plate, Scotia Plate, South American Plate, Caribbean Plate, North American Plate, Mid-Atlantic Ridge, Mid-Atlantic Ridge, African Plate, Eurasian Plate, Arabian Plate, Somalian Plate, Southwest Indian Ocean Ridge, Indo-Australian Plate, Southeastern Indian Ocean Ridge, Philippines Plate, Mariana Trench, Pacific Plate. 11. When Marco's family got home, they discovered that there was a new house being built next door to them. When construction workers broke ground, rock layers were exposed. This is what Marco saw as he observed the exposed rock layers. F, E, D, C, B, A. Fault line. What can Marco learn about his neighborhood, about how his neighborhood has changed over time from what he observed? The end of the test.